Hey, how's it going? My name is Timothy Miller, and I'm here to talk to you just a little bit about adoption. When you think of adoption, first thing that comes to my mind is the foster care system. And what's crazy about the foster care system is that more than 60% of children in foster care spend between 2 and 5 years in the system before they ever get adopted. That's according to Karen Leinhart. You know, for myself, adoption hits very close to home because my wife and I adopted our oldest son that is 3, almost 4 now. And so it's very close to my heart. And I just want to impart a little bit of that knowledge to you today and hope that maybe you'll take that knowledge and you'll do something with that. So here in a few moments, we're going to discuss just a couple of things. I'd like to give you the stats, the statistics, and where the numbers kind of all line up regarding foster care and adoption and how that all works. It's pretty mind-blowing if you ask me. So we'll discuss that here in a minute. Also, I want to talk to you briefly about the process. When you think about adoption, you think about this long, drawn-out, elaborate scheme and plan, and it just seems like it's going to be way over the top. We're going to talk about that as well. And then I'm going to wrap it up with how you can help. What can we do to help? How can we take this process that we've learned, how can we take these numbers that I've given you and do something about it to help these kiddos? So we're going to talk about that shortly. So let's get right into it. So, the statistics. According to Rose Creeder with Census.gov, there's over 400,000 kiddos in the foster care system in the United States. That number is way too high. It should be 0 if you ask me, but irregardless, 400,000 plus. That's unacceptable. Of those 400,000, right now in the United States, there's 114,556 kiddos waiting to be adopted. That's 114,556 little guys, little girls, needing someone to wrap their arms around them, tell them they love them, and that they want to make a home. According to Children's Rights, over 22,000 kiddos age out of the foster care system yearly. What does aging out mean? Aging out means they become of legal age and basically they're no longer in the system because they are their own guardian at that point. So what are we doing wrong as a society that we can't get to those kiddos before then? We need to discuss that. And over a third of adults in the United States have said that they've thought about adoption, but no more than 2% have actually done it. That number needs to change. The process of adoption, what does that look like? Well, briefly, I'll explain it to you. First, you find an adoption agency. They'll help you find a kiddo. They'll help you see if this is really what you want to do. Next, you find a lawyer. Your lawyer's going to help you with all the legalities and filling out the paperwork and dealing with all that, making sure all your ducks are in a row, all your T's are crossed, all your I's are dotted. Gotta have that. Next, you want to apply for adoption. That's going to be a giant stack of papers that it's probably going to give you a little bit of carpal tunnel, but that's okay. You'll get through it and it's going to be worth it because you're going to have that little one there at the end. After you apply for adoption, you're going to want to do a home study. What's a home study, you might ask? Well, a home study is when someone comes into your home, basically an overall inspection, making sure the home is safe. They're going to discuss with you and your spouse, if you're married. You don't have to be, that's okay. But they're going to discuss with you and your spouse, if that's the case, this adoption. They're going to do a little interview just to make sure that you're mentally fit from their perspective to love and care for this child. After the home study and everything has been kind of completed to that point, you're going to go before a judge. You're going to have your adoption hearing. That's kind of the biggest day in all of it, because once you have that adoption hearing, judge kind of checks everything off, makes sure everything's done. It's going to ask you, your attorney, your lawyer, your adoption agency, and the child, if the child is old enough to speak, if this is all in the best interest of the child. And they're going to ask you if this is truly what you want to do. At that point, if everything goes well, they're going to stamp the paperwork, sign it, hit that gavel, and you're going home with a new kiddo. It's a pretty great feeling. I've been there. I know it. So what can I do to help? What can you do to help? Well, how can we help? There's a couple things we can do. Obviously, we can take the plunge into the deep end right off the bat. We can adopt. You can call someone up today, you can call up an adoption agency, you can get online, look around, and you can adopt. It's a big step, but it's not for everyone. So what can you do if you want to help, but you're not quite ready to do that? Well, you can volunteer. Find somewhere to volunteer, whether it be with foster care, whether it be helping out with parents of adopted children, just giving them time to spend together, away from the kiddos if they need a break. One thing you can do is you can go to casaforchildren.org. Again, that's casaforchildren.org, and you can look up ways that you can help and different things like that. So just to recap, what did we discuss just now? We discussed the statistics of foster care and adoption and how those numbers need to be flipped. We need to flip the script on adoption. It's not a taboo word, it's not a dirty word, it's a very beautiful thing. We discussed the process of adoption and just kind of in basic flowchart form what you can do. And we discussed how you can help. So, what can you do to help? Can you adopt? Can you volunteer your time to help a family, help a child? That's a decision you got to make. That choice is up to you. Thank you for your time. And thank you for considering the lives of these little ones and how you can